Please stop. Please stop. Please stop. Please stop. Thank you. Sorry, getting distracted a bit. Give me a second. Okay, greetings, fellow tuning in time and space, your host, TheAmariaShadow, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back once again to more of Ace Attorney Investigation. We're going to continue right where last left off in the live stream. We're going to be starting episode 2, Turnabout Airlines, today. So without further ado, let's get started right away today's adventure and see what's in store for us. Allons-y! The murder that occurred in my office. The return of the great thief Yatakarasu. Thinking back, everything began on that fateful day 2 days ago. Two days earlier. Yes, everything began high up in the air, 9,000 feet in the air to be precise. Thank you for flying GoU Airlines. We are currently experiencing slight turbulence. We are asking all passengers to please return to their seats and fasten their seatbelts. March 12th, 6:13 a.m., Flight G390, first floor lounge. What the heck? Someone bashed Edgeworth over the head? Why do I feel like I just woke up from a horrible nightmare? 6:13, huh? Guess I was out cold for about 10 minutes. Slight turbulence indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, we are currently experiencing some slight turbulence. For your safety, we ask that you return to your seats and fasten your seatbelts. I suppose turbulence is to be expected on a flight, though admittedly I'm less than comfortable with anything resembling earthquakes. He's still nervous about that. What's this? A travel wallet? But it's not mine. How did someone else's travel wallet wind up in my pocket? Ugh, my head! Why won't this headache go away? I'll take care of this travel wallet later, or hand it off to an attendant. Earthquake-like turbulence to an elevator! He can't escape that case! Oh no! What am I doing hesitating like this? Actually, I know full well why I hesitate. It was when I was still but a young child. I was caught up in a murder that happened in an elevator. How long am I going to let my past haunt me? It's just an elevator. I'm a grown man now. I need to behave like one. And you had... What in the world happened? Is there something wrong, sir? I must ask that you please return to your seat. He said! Please calm down. You mustn't jump to conclusions without all the facts. What's wrong? Did something happen? You murderer! What? No! You have it all wrong. It wasn't me. March 12th, 6:41 a.m., Flight G390, second floor, first class. Everyone, I am sorry to interrupt, but I have an important announcement. I am one of your flight attendants today, Rhoda Tenero. Unfortunately, we have just had a minor accident on this flight. An accident? Don't treat us like we're stupid. I caught a glimpse of it. It was a murder. What? Murder? What's going on with this flight? Everyone, please calm down. There's no reason to panic. This flight will stay on course and make its scheduled landing. We are still currently in the middle of a rough patch of turbulence. So until we are out of this area of turbulence, I ask that you please remain seated. But someone was killed, right? I mean, what about the killer? Let me off! Please, there is no need to feel threatened. We have already apprehended the culprit. I ask that everyone please remain calm. What the heck is he talking about? Why should we remain calm? My name is Miles Edgeworth. I am a prosecutor, and I assure you, I am not the killer. Ha! Being a prosecutor doesn't make you incapable of murder, buddy. Now you listen here. I am not the killer. I simply found the body. So you say, however. I am sure that you are the perpetrator of this crime. I swear on my honor as a professional flight attendant. Oh, is that right? I know what I saw. And there's very strong incriminating evidence to back me up. What kind of incriminating evidence is she talking about? We've already alerted the proper authorities at our destination. Until we land, you will remain in our custody by the powers vested in our captain. I am very sorry, but please understand our situation. Your situation? I'm more concerned with mine and the direction it's going in. I'm not about to just sit idly by while I get accused of murder. Miss Tenero, is it? Yes? I was wondering if you might give me a chance. A chance to do what? A chance to plead my case. And a chance to ask what you meant by incriminating evidence just now. To accuse a passenger of such a grave crime without allowing him to give a proper defense. Can a professional flight attendant inside of you really call this action righteous? You have a point. Very well. I'll listen to what you have to say. But be wary of what you reveal. I'm afraid you'll only look even more suspicious if your explanation fails to satisfy. I also do not have the time to deal with you all day, so please make it quick. Of course, as you wish. Good. Very well then. Let's get started. I know for a fact that I didn't kill that man in the elevator. What I don't know is what sort of evidence she has up her sleeve. but I'm certain it doesn't fit with how the crime really occurred. What Miss Tenaro saw. I swear to tell the whole truth as a professional flight attendant. Unfortunately for you, Mr. Edgeworth, I am certain you were the killer. The scene I saw in front of the elevator, it was you standing there with fresh blood dripping off with a murder weapon. So if you would please cooperate, we'll turn you over just as soon as we land. That's it? That's her evidence? I don't think you could ask for a more perfect witness testimony. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Edgeworth? Not really. It's hardly perfect when there's a gaping hole in it. Rebuttal. Well, this one's pretty easy. It's, her fourth statement is wrong because she said she saw blood dripping off of the murder weapon. What I had in my hand at the time was a wallet, and it dropped in what I think was wine, but it could have been grape juice because they tend to make things kind of kid-friendly and friendly in these type of games. So, fresh blood, huh?
Objection!
Miss Tenaro, what is with all the yelling all of a sudden? Ah, force of habit. Well, it doesn't matter. Miss Tenaro, you say you saw the murder weapon dripping with blood. Is that correct? Yes. All that blood. Drip, drip, drip. Just recalling that scene sends a chill down my spine. Sorry, but your so-called professional flight attendant training has failed you. Well, what? I'd like to direct your attention to this. You know what this is? It's a travel wallet, right? But it looks a little big and bulky. The thing you saw me holding when I discovered the dead body in the elevator was this very travel wallet, Mr. Tenaro. What? Impossible! Now then, do you still think I am the killer? And I killed him with a travel wallet? I saw blood dripping from the wallet, and I know I did. As you can see, this wallet is clearly stained. But if you would be so kind as to take a whiff, I think you'd agree it's only grape juice. Ha, then... That's right. You mistook grape juice for blood. A murder weapon dripping with blood does not, in fact, exist. No! There, that should clear up that pesky accusation. Well, wait just a sec. That is, even a wallet could be deadly if it was wrapped around something heavy. I demand that you tell me what's inside, please. She's trembling, and the tacked on please at the end. Sounds like I've got her. There's no need to look inside. Even you could tell from its appearance that it's light. No, I can't be sure of anything until I see the contents of that wallet for myself. She's a persistent one. I suppose we have no choice but to see what's inside. Miss Tenaro, if you would so kind as to open the wallet and check its contents for me. Alright. I usually don't pry into passengers' belongings, but we have no choice here. It seems that this passport is all that's in here. As you saw, there's nothing but a passport inside. This renders your wallet with the murder weapon argument moot. Wouldn't you agree? Please, hear me out, Mr. Edgeworth. What is it now? Well, I was wondering, whose passport is it exactly? Can I take a look? Why not? I'm rather curious myself. This is... Just as I thought. This travel wallet belonged to Mr. Axby Hicks, which makes it the victim's property. You stole the victim's wallet? Didn't you? How dare you! You said it yourself. You claimed to be holding this wallet in your hands when I found you. Perhaps I did misconstrue the wallet for the murder weapon, but it seems that I wasn't wrong about who the culprit is. Mr. Harrow's logic. As you claimed, the murder weapon is not the travel wallet. However, it is something you stole from Mr. Hicks after you were done with the vile deed. I find it hard to believe myself, but your motive was very simple. You were out to steal Mr. Hicks's money, weren't you? What, bitch? So even though I didn't have the murder weapon on me, you still suspect me, I see. You stood up at the crime scene with the victim's wallet in your hands. How can I turn a blind eye and not suspect you of foul play? Okay. As you claim, the murder weapon is not the travel wallet. However, it is something you stole from Mr. Hicks after you were done with the vile deed. Hang on. Body found at 6:15 a.m. beside the elevator. Stopped at the first floor lounge. Wait. He got hit in the head with that statue. At least that's what I'm believing. As for his money is right there, right? It's on the ground. As you claim, the murder weapon is not the travel wallet. However, it is something you stole from Mr. Hicks after you were done with the vile deed. I find it hard to believe myself, but your motive was very simple. You were out to steal Mr. Hicks's money, weren't you?
Objection!
I wonder if I might get a word in, Mr. Nero. What is it now? Mr. Nero, I wonder if you noticed the contradiction within your own testimony. What are you talking about? It's simply impossible that the motive for this murder was monetary theft. One glance at the crime scene should have told you that. What about this scene will prove that the motive for the murder was not the money? Well, all
take that
on the ground. If you might direct your attention to the things strewn all over the floor. Ha! That's right. The floor is covered in bills and coinage. By your rationale, these were the very things the killer was after. Ha! I think we can assume that the wallet fell during the victim's struggle with his killer. And I would think that the killer would have noticed something like money scattering everywhere. Furthermore, as you can see, there was no effort made by the killer to gather the money. But the wallet! Ah yes, the wallet. You will also recall that the only thing in it was Mr. Hicks's passport. Ah! If you are really insisting that it was a crime based on greed, you're claiming that it was all for an empty travel wallet. Forgive me! Please! Hey, what the heck? Are you saying the attendant's wrong? That guy isn't the killer? Ha! Don't believe it, everyone. It's a trick! Will you all please be quiet? Mr. Nero. Yes. You lost your cool when you saw the dead body. Plus the lounge was dark, and looking into the light from the elevator, it's easy to see how you mistook the wallet in my hand for the murder weapon. I take no offense as you thought that I was the killer. Mr. Edgeworth! Thank you for releasing me. What is he saying? What is it now? Uh-huh. Mr. Nero, if you could please translate, I'd be much obliged. It sounds like Morginian, but I don't understand any of it. There's another attendant on this flight who... I said that he is given the runabout! I don't require an interpreter. I speak English just well, see? You, the attendant! Yes, sir. I want this person to be under the arrest until we arrive at the airport. I'm sorry, sir, but what exactly are you hoping for? What is it you want? I am finished talking to the license. Please, I would like to hear why you would like me to be held under arrest until we land. You! How dare you try to waste my time? You're the one who stuck your nose into my affairs. I wanted to spend even at least one more second with my precious aunt. I have no time for other things. I know what you are. I see through you. Insolvent. Yes, I am pretty sure that's how you say it in English. Well, I should hope I'm not monetarily bankrupt, but I don't think that's what you meant. I'm sorry, but I don't think I caught your name. I am Zinc LeBlanc II. I am a very wealthy man in the Morginia, but I am not an ordinary rich man. I am an art dealer, a rich seller of beauty. Mr. LeBlanc, what did you mean just now? Pardon? When you said that Mr. Edgeworth was giving me the runabout. I have to explain? Unbelievable. I will say it once and only once. I do not have even a second to waste. Time is money, as they say. Yes, and yet you continue to blather on. I saw it. Yes, I did. I saw the victim go onto the elevator, going down to the lounge. It was exactly at 6 o'clock. And what's the significance of that time? At 6? Wait, you saw him at 6? Huh! What's the matter, Mr. Edgeworth? He understands, I see. Mr. Attendant, what time did you discover the body? Well, it was a little after that patch of turbulence, so I would say around 6:15. Ah! Hicks was his name, was it? I say that man Hicks was killed in that 15-minute time span. And the only person in the lounge at that time was this prosecutor, yes? Yeah, I was in my seat the whole time. Me too. I was watching the movie and enjoying a fine glass of grape juice. Oh my god, look at all those bottles. I was still eating. Still haven't finished, see? What is that? You got a big-ass looking milkshake, a huge loaf of bread, and a huge hunk of... You are so fat. You are a fat guy. The other passengers have an alibi, so you have no problem with them, I suppose. No compliant, I see. Not a single word against this, right? I have no way of discounting what you have put forth at this point, but it wasn't me. Oh, so you say, but do you have what you say, the evidence? Mr. Edgeworth, are you really the culprit after all? Mr. LeBlanc, I suppose you are quite certain of what you saw. Enough to give testimony? Of course! I was looking at that man the whole time! He was playing with that annoying little, small machine the whole time. Machine? Yeah, that's what you people call it in English, yes? You're making me crazy with a click, click, click! From that description, it sounds like some sort of small computer. I believe what Mr. LeBlanc is talking about is a cell phone. I have to say that I did see him playing with it quite a bit myself. A cell phone? A laptop or organizer, I can see, but that's kind of low budget. I hate that noisy little machine in his hand. Not a fragment of beauty. All it produces is ugly sound. Anyway, I know what I saw. Mr. Nero. Yes? I was wondering if I might be granted permission to examine the crime scene. What? You want to examine the crime scene? If you will grant me a little measure of time, I'm sure I can produce the real culprit. I don't like the sound of that. Box in the duck den. Yes, I think that is how you say it in English. It's Fox guarding the hen house, and I believe my innocence was proven earlier. If I'm given the chance, I can clear up all the remaining doubts. Mr. Nero, if you wait until we arrive, there's a good chance that some evidence will have been destroyed by then. I understand. Let me see what the captain has to say. Ha! This should not be approved! Please, Mr. LeBlanc. In an emergency, all decisions are to be made by the captain alone. Now please wait here while I go ask the captain what to do. I'll be right back. You are not planning to erase evidence when you are doing your investigation, yes? Of course not! Ha! We will see. Mr. Edgeworth, you have the captain's permission to investigate the crime scene. What? Unbelievable! I am in your debt, Mr. Nero. However, there is one condition. I am to supervise you. Can you agree to that? Of course, I see no problem with that stipulation. It is only natural as I am still a suspect in this case. I take full responsibility and will watch Mr. Edgeworth's every move. I hope this is reassurance enough that there will be no foul play. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, shall we proceed? If you need my help in anything, please feel free to use triangle to talk. It's time to head to the scene of the crime, the first floor lounge. Ugh! Don't do that! March 12th, 7:26 a.m., flight G390, first floor lounge. I want to thank you for your help back there, Mr. Nero. It was nothing. You should thank the captain for granting you permission. And just so everything is perfectly clear, I still don't trust you. Your standing with me hasn't changed one iota. I see. I will bear that in mind. I received an order for the captain earlier. He wanted you to know that. He reserves the right to stop your investigation if we feel you are not making progress. And when we do, he asks that you please return to your seat at that time. When the time runs out at his and his crew's discretion, I have to find a way to discredit Mr. LeBlanc's testimony before time is up. I understand. By the way, is there any place you can think of where the killer might hide for? I don't think so. After every first-class passenger was accounted for at his or her seat, we made a thorough search of the plane. As for business and economy class, no one can move between those two classes in first class without a staff keycard. We found no record of a keycard being used at all, which means that I have a first-class killer on my hands. At least I know that much for sure. And one other thing. No one else has been allowed near this crime scene since the murder was discovered either. Now then, let's get started. But where should we start from? Let's start with Mr. LeBlanc's statements. The crime occurred between 6 a.m. and 6:15 a.m. During that interval, the only person in the lounge was myself, which would make me the prime suspect. However, since I did not kill Mr. Hicks, it means that the killer was around somewhere. Where was the killer? What clues point to where the killer could have been? If we are to believe what you say is true, then yes. The first order of business will be to gather information and win your trust. There's some spilled grape juice in front of the elevator. I assume it was spilled during the turbulence. Oh, you must clean that up or someone might get hurt. Aha! What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? I found some very important evidence. What is the important piece of evidence in this scene? The footprints?
Take that!
What is it? They're a little smudged, but I think we can both agree they are a set of footprints. Spilled grape juice. There's some spilled grape juice on the floor in front of the elevator. So you think, yes, these belong to our killer. Oh, then maybe we should check the shoe sizes of everyone in first class. I don't think that will be of any help to us. Unfortunately, the prints are too smudged, which will make it hard to get a definitive match. Oh, I see. What or who is this? This is a bronze statue of the founder of Go-U Airlines, Mr. Hugo Hughes. The one on the left is of when he was in his 40s, and the other is of him in his 90s. 80s. The man aged all over those 4 decades? Maybe I need a swim. What floors does this elevator service? Only the first and second, although it can also go down to the cargo hold. However, that requires a flight crew key card. The only floors accessible to passengers are the first and second, huh? The victim's body was found inside the elevator that connects the first floor with the second floor. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious looking cranny. What is this sinister looking figure on the floor here? Oh, that's the piggy bank of our company mascot, Captain Ugo. It's just one of the many pieces of merchandise we sell at our in-flight shop. This bank is a limited edition, and it's so popular that we're down to our last one. You have an in-flight shop? Yes, it's just beyond the lounge to the right. The shutter to the store is closed at the moment, but it was open the whole flight up until Mr. Hicks's body was discovered. There's blood on here. Could this have been the murder weapon? Murder weapon, Captain Ugo. The blood on it is still fresh. Could this be the murder weapon? Now anyone was expecting to find a dead body in an elevator in this flight. So Mr. Hicks, he's really dead? Yes, she's trembling, so I can't hold him for that. There's a corpse right there. Mr. Hicks, if you're really dead, then please answer yes. I see she's overly trembling now. Well, new symptoms seem to have appeared. Anyway, I should focus on the victim's body. Let's see. There's blood on the back of Mr. Hicks's head. Could this be the cause of death? He appears to have been struck very hard. Blunt force trauma. Wound on the back of Hicks's head suggests blunt force trauma, but what caused it? Even his glasses are broken. The victim's glasses are broken. Were they broken during his murder? Alright, let's see here. Ooh. There's something sticking out of his pocket. Hope you won't mind if I take a look at what's inside. It's a picture. It looks like it was taken inside a building somewhere. Down in the victim's pocket. A souvenir picture, perhaps? This spot somehow connected to any of the evidence I hold? Yeah, something's missing. Where's the thing that was around his neck? Mr. Hicks's machine is nowhere to be found. His machine? His cell phone, Mr. Nero. Ah, so I guess because it's not here. Yes, I think we can safely deduce that the killer took it. The victim supposedly had one, but it has gone missing. Did the killer take it? Alright, time to go into some logic. Let's think about this for a second. Because That's about all the information I'm going to find, that I think. Alright. What clues point to where the killer could have been? Alrighty. So, let's try this and this, because the only places the killer could have went is the first floor and the second floor via the elevator. So, these are the only places he could have gone if he used the elevator. True, there wasn't anyone else in the lounge other than myself right before the turbulence. But if the killer was in the elevator along with the victim, then that's a different story. In the elevator with Hicks. If only I could prove that the killer rode the elevator with Hicks. Alright, now this one's easy. Blunt force trauma and murder weapon, because this has to be the murder weapon, right? Because it's the only thing that's got blood on it here. A statue with blood on it, lying next to the body of a man who was beaten to death. Oh, Mr. Edgeworth, I think I figured something out. Yes, what is it? The way the blood is on this, it looks like it matches up with the wound on his head. Well, aren't we deserving of the Master of the Obvious title? Well, what do you think, Mr. Edgeworth? Don't you think that's worth investigating? It would appear that this figurine is our murder weapon. Oh, I just knew it. I mean, I can't think of any other connection. Perhaps Master of the Oblivious would be more befitting. Oh, no! Her mouth is twitching. Usually on display at the in-flight shop. Found at the crime scene with blood on it. Okay, so if we got 3 bits of info here. So far, the broken glasses I don't think is going to help us here, because none of this connects with it. So, if the killer was in the elevator, it would mean that those footprints that we saw definitely had to have been the killer, which means they went into the shop, right? Yeah, that seems like it makes sense. In sense, right? I have it! I'm sorry, but I don't understand, Mr. Edgeworth. I can prove that someone other than myself was here around the time of the murder. What? Really? Yes, it's rather simple, actually. The proof is in the pudding, or rather the grape juice in this case. These footsteps here confess to me this very fact, that someone exited the elevator alive. Seeing as how the victim is dead, that would mean a second person. But couldn't the footprints be from Mr. Hicks himself? Ah, but if you take a look at her victim's shoes, you can see the soles are spotless. Which means Mr. Hicks wasn't alone in the elevator. In fact, it's quite the opposite. There was actually one other person inside the elevator. Grape juice footprints. Built during the turbulence. Looks like footprints of something being dragged. What's going on over there? You again? Unforgivable! This is unforgivable! You understand what I am saying? The movie is late! It is the same level of bad as if the plane arrived late. But the movie... What? I will not talk to you anymore. You're just wasting my time. What is the matter, Mr. LeBlanc? If there is no emergency, please return to your seat, sir. Do not tell me what to do. I need not to sit down. Well, Mr. Prosecutor, did you prove you are innocent yet? If you would like, I will prove my innocence to you right now. What? Nonsense! Are you saying my eyewitness testimony is mistaken? Not mistaken, merely that there is room for doubt. I'd be most honored if you could please tell me what you saw in detail once more. Fine! Suit yourself! Hiccups. What I'm certain I saw Mr. Hicks enter that elevator. It was when the needles on my pocket watch pointed to the 6 and the 12. The body was discovered 15 minutes after that in the lounge, yes? Then you, the only person in the lounge at that time, must be the criminal. Mr. LeBlanc's conclusion seemed to make logical sense. After all, the only person in the lounge at the supposed time of the murder was me. So, my eyewitness testimony. If you think you can destroy it, then come, let me see. Hurry! Do I look like a man who is having the time to wait for you? Why is he so irritated? I'm the one accused of murder here. Anyway, I must find a way to discredit Mr. LeBlanc's account somehow. And fast! certain I saw Mr. Hicks enter that elevator.
Hold it!
Mr. LeBlanc, were you able to get a good look at the inside of the elevator at that time? Of course I saw what was inside. And you are sure that the victim was in the elevator alone? Yes! The only person inside was that Hicks man! This last outburst is a bit too important to let go. The only person inside was that Mr. Hicks man. Wrong!
Objection!
Mr. LeBlanc, what is it? There's a very glaring contradiction in your testimony. What do you mean? Please take a look at the area in front of the elevator. There, the spilled grape juice. Yes, and? Will you admit you also spilled it with the blood? No, it spilled itself during the turbulence. But the interesting thing here is the set of grape juice footprints. The footprints? Yes, the ones that lead from within the elevator out into the lounge itself. It's evidence that proves that someone other than Mr. Hicks exited the elevator. Alive! Ooh! There must have been another person in the elevator with Mr. Hicks. Now then, I'm done playing games. Why don't you tell us the truth? Can you please translate for us? Oh, what the hell? She looks so dead. Look, where's her eyes? No way, that's totally impossible. I guess is what he said. No way, that is totally impossible. I know there was no other person in there. I saw it with my own eyes. If you want to know what I think, Mr. Edgeworth, I don't think Mr. LeBlanc is lying to us. Oh, she's right. He doesn't seem to be lying. But then, what does it mean? What about this contradiction? Mr. LeBlanc, please, just once more, do you recall the details of what you witnessed? When I saw part 2. I was very upset when Mr. Hicks passed by my seat. I was always checking the time, over and over again. I happened to follow that man with my eyes when he passed me, and I saw clearly into the elevator he was entering. But I saw there was no one else inside. No one! Mr. LeBlanc, if you would please calm down. What? Dare you two have an issue with me? Issue with my eyewitness testimony? No, not at all. Please forget I said anything. Wait a minute. Where'd I get this magazine? This magazine is going to be important for something, I bet. Because I don't recall picking this up, so it must have been already in my evidence folder. No, not at all. Please forget I said anything. Yet again, he doesn't appear to be lying. But I can't let this testimony stand as the truth. What I saw, part 2. I was very upset when Mr. Hicks passed by my seat. I was always checking the time, over and over again. Why were you checking the time so often?
Hold it!
Hold on. Why were you so attentive to the time? Because something unforgivable is happening. Come to think of it, you were yelling about something unforgivable earlier. Giving a complaint to the attendant about the movie starting time. Return back to me my time! In money! You understand the point? Movie? Is he talking about the in-flight one that's mentioned in the magazine? A summary of the plot and its start time. Interesting. It was supposed to show License to Love, Laugh, Maim, and Murder. I cannot see that movie in my country. You can only see it on international flights. I looked forward greatly to that movie. I checked my pocket watch whenever possible so I would not miss it. I even set my pocket watch to the destination time when I came up on board. So my watch is not wrong. I matched the schedule. But the movie was still late. Very, very late. Pocket watch. I'd like to ask you a little more about it, if that's all right. The movie I wanted to see would not start, so I checked my pocket watch many times. My watch is set to her destination's time. I always set it when I board the plane. Wait. You say your watch is set for the destination's time? Interesting. Interesting.
Objection!
Mr. LeBlanc, you said this just now in your testimony. I even set my pocket watch to the destination time when I came on board. Now, if your watch has been set to our destination's time zone, it would mean that your watch is displaying the time of our destination. Yes, and The correct time is what? It's 6 cents. I would like you to take a look at this. If you believe the Sky magazine, clocks on this flight run in accordance with the time of our departure time zone. Of course, the movie schedule was also created with that in mind. It's an error, for confirmation's sake. What time zone is this flight aligned to right now? Well, we made a short stop at a transfer point. That's right. It was in that small Asian country, the Republic of Shengba. Well, we didn't readjust our onboard clocks at that time. So right now, we are still running on Borginian time. What?! The time difference between Borginia and our destination is 9 hours. In that case, it's only natural that your watch would be out of sync with the schedule. Wah! Further, with your analog watch set to our destination's time, would appear to be running 3 hours fast when compared to the flight's onboard clocks. It also changes everything about your testimony, and you can bet 1,000,000 cents on that. In light of this information, it means you saw Mr. Hicks 3 hours prior at 3 a.m. My 1,000,000 cents! This should clear up all the remaining accusations. So this basically widens the time frame for the time of death, right? Yes, because Mr. LeBlanc saw the victim enter the elevator at 3 a.m. It means that the time of death could be anywhere from 3 to 6:15 a.m. The question now is, where was Mr. Hicks during that span of time, and what was he doing? I've got something to say. And you are? Yeah, oh, I'm Chamomile. Chamomile? Oh my god. I already got the pun. I'm a flight attendant. And what is it you wish to say? Well, I think your story is a little different from how I remember it. What do you mean, Cammy? I saw Mr. Hicks sitting in his seat at 5 a.m., you know? What? How can you be so sure of the time? Oh, that's right. He pushed his call button while we were parked at the transfer point. Ah, the stop we made for refueling a cargo transfer in Shangpa, correct? Yes, it was from 4 to 5 a.m. according to our clocks. And during that time, did any of the passengers leave, or did any new ones board this flight? No, not a single person got off or on in Shangpa. What about the flight crew? The few who were handling the cargo transfer might have temporarily gotten on or off, but eventually everyone, including Cammy and myself, came back on the plane. So basically, I can assume that no one left or got on since our initial takeoff. Interesting, I should keep that in mind. Refueling in Shangpa made a brief stop from 4 a.m. to 5 a.m. to transfer cargo and refuel at transfer point. Yeah, and I answered his call. I can tell you Mr. Acme Hicks was there in his seat when we took off again at 5 a.m. Mr. Acme Hicks was there in his seat when we took off again at 5 a.m. Alright then, that puts the time of the murder between 5 and 6:15 a.m. Okay, now what time did you come down to the lounge, Mr. Edgeworth? I remember coming down here almost as soon as we left the Republic of Shangpa. Ah! You were hit the whole time for 5, yes? Then you are the only one who could be the killer! Mr. Edgeworth, were you really here in this lounge the entire time from 5 a.m. onwards? Unfortunately, yes. But then how do we explain the footprint? It's not that obvious! This man waited for Mr. Hicks here in this lounge, waited to kill him! And then he put the corpse into the elevator! That is when the turbulence happened! My eyewitness testimony may have been mistaken. What time I saw Mr. Hicks enter the elevator on the second floor does not matter, because the entire incident concluded here in this lounge! Something happened in this lounge? Is that what you really believe, Mr. LeBlanc? What? Do you have another idea? I simply feel that there is something out of place in the scenario presented. Is there something that could tie this crime to a location other than this lounge?
Take that!
Well, the grapefruit footprints suggest that it could have happened in the shop. These footprints, in which direction do you think these are headed? That would be the in-flight shop. Correct. They're headed in the direction of the shop. But they look disconnected. They end all of a sudden. You're right to point out that they do not form one continuous trail to the shop. However, there is another piece of evidence that connects the shop to our crime scene. Besides the footprints, what else points to the in-flight shop? This, right? The piggy bank.
Take that!
The murder weapon. This little piggy bank is sold at the in-flight shop. It is sold there and only there. It's not displayed here in this lounge. How then did it find its way here? Don't you find that a tiny bit suspicious? Such a trivial point. It only means you prepared it, taking it from the shop first before coming here. Doesn't prove you are innocent at all. Ugh. Is there no way to win with this man? If I may. What is it? You see, well, it's just as Mr. Edgeworth says. Oh, and why do you know this so well? Well, it's just that piggy bank was there in the shop. I saw it with my own eyes. And when was this? It was maybe around 5:40 a.m.? Isn't that just before we hit that patch of turbulence? That's right. You were in the shop just before the turbulence? Yes, I was. Come to think of it. Mr. Darrow, when I found the body, I believe you came out of that door. Yes, I did. And what is beyond that door? That's the flight attendant's room. Then you were on the first floor? Yes. I had to do something at the shop and in the flight attendant's room. So I went to the shop first and then to the flight attendant's room. Are you saying you passed by me at some point? Yes, you seemed really into the issue of Sky magazine you were reading at the time. I don't suppose you noticed me walking by. I vaguely recall someone walking by, but I didn't take notice of who it was. Anyway, the piggy bank was definitely there at the shop when I went there. Why did you go to the shop in the first place? I went there for a work-related matter. Work, you say? Yes, the upkeep of the shop is also one of my responsibilities. Why did you not say anything about that until now is what I want to know. In any case, I believe it's clear that the shop needs to be investigated as well. Shall we head over there? What is it now? Aren't you forgetting something, Miss Rhoda? Don't you need the captain's permission to check the shop? No, I haven't forgotten. But I have already asked him for permission to search the entire plane. So I think we're alright. Huh? That's weird. What is? Well, I just talked to the captain, see? And he said that he didn't give you permission to do anything like that at all. What is the meaning of this, Mr. Darrow? It means she's lying. Go on, admit that you are. You said you had permission to search all over, but you don't, and yet here you are. You flight attendant! What are you trying to do? Pull the sheep over us? Captain's calling for you, Miss Rhoda. Oh, but don't worry. I already got permission to search the shop from the captain. See, unlike you, I do things the right way. Mr. Darrow, why would you do such a thing? Please excuse me. Looks like I get to be in charge now. Please go back to your seat, Mr. LeBlanc. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, if you would follow me, I will be your guide from now on. There's something about Mr. Darrow that has piqued my curiosity, but right now investigating the in-flight shop is my top priority. Miss Beale, I'm not investigating the in-flight shop. You're of no use to be asleep. Wake up! Huh? What's up? I need you to come with me so I can search the shop. Go on ahead without me. Ugh. I'll catch up with you later. How is this woman not in fire jets? Oh, Jesus. March 12th, 8:32 a.m., Flight G390, first floor, in-flight shop. So this is the in-flight shop. It's quite a mess in here. You think? Guess I'll have to clean things up then. Hold on, you can't clean up a potential crime scene! Oh, thank goodness, I hate cleaning so much. I mustn't rush things here. I must remain cool, calm, and collected, because this piggy bank was left at the crime scene. There's a very good chance that the killer had paid this place a visit. Alright, let's see here. Let's check this for a second. The glass from this display case's door is shattered all over the floor. It looks like there's nothing on display inside either. Wait, actually, I think there is something. What's this? A mini captain's hat? It's a Tiny's captain hat. I swear I've seen one of these before. What are these? Oh, those are our company's completely original line of suitcases. They're practically flying out the door. That's how popular they are. You should buy one and see how you like it. You won't regret it. That's how things work on this flight, but in the real world you try, then buy. No way! But either way, it doesn't really matter. True. Either way, why would anyone buy a suitcase after they boarded the plane? Anyway, see that? Just look at all the Captain Ugo heads painted on there. New company mascot, isn't he? They're painted on with a lot of care. Doesn't he look like he's about to jump out at you? You're certainly making something jump inside my stomach. Huh? Oh, I guess there's no fooling your refined tastes. It looked like you really wanted to get one. And I thought I was going to finally make my first sale, but you saw right through it. Glad that's done, though. Never make me try to give you a sales pitch ever again, okay? But I never showed any interest in it to begin with! It really is pretty horrible, isn't it? You want to know something? This suitcase was designed by Miss Rhoda. Nero designed this? Yeah, it was a company-wide contest. Oh, well, it does have a very sharp design sense. Sharp? Like stinky sharp cheddar, maybe. I really have no idea why the bigwigs decided to go with it. It's so bland. Nero designed this, did she? Definitely not what I would have expected. Ah! You okay? I'm fine. Please watch yourself, Miss Meal. Letting a suitcase really roll around has got to be a safety violation. Plane shaking caused it to roll. In-flight suitcase displays can be hazardous. Here, I'll put it back. Wait a minute. What is this? Stuffed toys, just like the one Miss Meal is holding, are on display here. They're relatively cheap, which explains why they're displayed so haphazardly. How about it, Mr. Edgeworth? You know you want one, too. They're great for when you're stressed. Why do I envision stuffed animal abuse when she says that? Oh, God! No, that poor teddy bear. Wait. Oh! Wait a minute! Yeah, this thing's missing his hat, because that's a hat. It's like... the plush doll she has and the plush doll that's on the rack both have a hat on, so this thing's missing a hat. The hat probably used to be on the piggy bank's head. Let's give it a go and see. I believe this piggy bank was forcibly removed from this display case. Does this mean that the killer broke the glass to get at it? Eh? Really? Don't tell me you don't know what things go where in this shop. Well, I don't. Miss Rhoda's in charge of this place. So come on, how should I know anything? I sense that further inspection of this display case is needed. Alright, let's take a look-see at this. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. Is this spot somehow connected to any evidence I hold? Well, if it's shattered, doesn't that imply that this fell out? I mean, there was all that turbulence, so I imagine something like this could have broken this glass. Eureka! There's definitely something very unusual about this. About what? If the killer had broken the glass to get at the Captain Ugo bank, there should be shards of glass inside the case itself. Ooh, I see. Yeah, I guess it'd be like that. However, there's not a single piece of glass inside the display case. Nope, no there isn't. Which means that the glass was broken from the inside out. The piggy bank must have fallen over from the turbulence and right through the glass. Yeah, that's for sure. There's so much glass all over the floor. I'm willing to bet that this hat was knocked off his head at the time, too. Eh? That's nice. Which leads me to believe that the killer took the Captain Ugo bank from here after the turbulence. The plane shook so much that during it that it made a huge mess of the shop. And she's out. Take your power naps on your own time, Miss Meal, and listen when I'm talking. But the murder occurred before the turbulence, which rules this piggy bank out as the murder weapon. So you mean the bank's not the real murder weapon? It's a fake? Yes, at this point, that is a real, very real possibility. But then what if when the killer went to pick up Captain Ugo, they broke the glass by accident? The display case is locked, so that's highly unlikely. Yeah, but there's one person who could have. Oh, and who would that be? Miss Rhoda, of course. I mean, she's the one in charge of this place, so she has the keys to everything. Miss Rhoda Tenero, huh? Okay, then. Now, if the suitcase moved with the turbulence, I wonder what that does. Yes, there's definitely something wrong here. What's with the sudden yelling? Tell me, Miss Meal, don't you think there's something strange about these suitcases? Oh, well, sure, they totally ooze strange, like the color and such. That's not what I'm talking about. Now pay attention. Ah! You're scaring me, Mr. Edgeworth. Sorry. These suitcases are lined up a bit too prim and proper. Yeah, they look a bit uptight, don't they? But I guess they take after their creator. Again, that's not what I meant, Miss Meal. Don't you find it unusual that these cases are the only things undisturbed by the turbulence? Never mind, I'd sooner find an answer by inspecting these suitcases myself. Upon closer inspection, they really are quite hideous. I wonder how Miss Rhoda would have reacted if she heard what you just said. What's wrong? She makes a good point. It would be wise of me to watch what I say out loud. What's this? I spotted something that's not quite right. What's so unusual about this suitcase? Let me see. Wait, why is that red? Yeah, this is red. The wheels are blue. And blue. Not to mention there's stoppers on this suitcase in comparison to this one. So that's definitely weird.
Take that!
Something very peculiar about these wheels. Huh? As in, there are no stoppers in place on these. Without stoppers, one would think that the turbulence would have sent it flying. And so it is very likely that the suitcase was placed here after we hit that turbulence. Let's take a closer look at it, shall we? Again, why is this one red? Well, purple. What's this? The wheel is completely covered in something. This color and this scent. Here's the substance in question is grape juice. But why would there be juice on the wheel of a suitcase? It appeared to be unlocked. Let's take a look at what's inside. Blood. A piece of cloth. And it's soaked with blood. Ah! It's blood! It appears that the suitcase is very strongly tied to our murder after all. So explain this to me. What does this suitcase have to do with the murder? I believe it's pretty safe to say that the killer used the suitcase in some manner. Such as to move something, perhaps? But aren't you just talking about the cloth then? That alone is too small. A larger item would be needed to move what I'm thinking of. The thing I believe the killer used the suitcase to transport is the body, right? It would have to be the body. Yeah, that makes sense. The body. Something that would fit inside a suitcase that is also covered in blood. Sounds like a dead body, doesn't it? This was used to transport the body. It was designed by Miss Rhoda Tenero. Found inside the suitcase, this beautiful pattern has been soiled by blood. But, in light of this, I'd say that Mr. Hicks was moved into the elevator from someplace else, which means that the murder was committed in an entirely different location. So you're saying that after moving the body into the elevator, the killer brought the suitcase in here and just left it? Exactly. What is it? Nothing. Just that I was thinking about what Miss Rhoda said about coming here for something. Excuse me, Mr. Edgeworth. I wanted to give you a bit more time, but I'm afraid I wasn't able to convince the captain. I'm very sorry, Mr. Edgeworth, but the captain feels like he has allowed you ample time. He says that he'd appreciate it if you could wrap it up here and return to your seat. I understand his sentiments, however, if I'm not allowed to complete my investigation, the crime scene may become contaminated by the time we land. If I must stop, then I insist I be allowed to oversee the preservation of the two sites, under your supervision, of course. If that's your only condition, then I believe we can accommodate your wishes. I'm here to assist you in any way that I can, Mr. Edgeworth. Sounds like fun. We can camp out and watch over everything together. I found proof that the real crime scene was not in the lounge, but I have enough evidence to prove myself to be innocent of my wrongdoing. Yet, regarding what Miss Neal reminded me of about Miss Gennaro, I can't allow my investigation to end here. The truth must come to light. Alright! How long have we been recording? It's been about an hour, so I think this is a good place to stop for today. So, thank you all for watching, and as always, your host, TheAmariaShadow, saying along, see, and I'll see you for the next adventure. Goodbye, everyone!